Good afternoon. Look at that. It's live. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday, and we are back for another chat. I think there's maybe still a couple people hanging out, but we'll see. They probably gave up on us and
Oh,
fucked off.
yeah, a bit late. A bit late.
Yeah, that's
Hello.
okay. We're always late. Anybody who regularly watches us irregularly knows that we're always irregular. We
We are,
start when we want to start.
mm, unfortunately. But yeah, good afternoon or good evening, actually. Good evening to you
Yes.
all.
How's it going?
Hot. I'm bothered, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I had I had my stack of comics, so it's good. I've been reading quite a few things actually, so I'm not
Yeah,
not,
sweet.
not sure if I want to squeeze all of it because then I'm gonna run out of something to talk about next week.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Because I get like loads shits coming in one time and then I have to wait another one a month. I've been
right.
trying couple number ones again. So
Oh, nice.
well, the one you have as well, so we
Oh,
can talk
okay.
about it, yes. But
Yeah.
then there's another one. And then yeah, it's DC, if that makes anything. Just because I'm curious, I guess. DC is winning kind of things for me to try on
Mm,
things lately. I don't like
yeah.
what Marvel is doing it. I rarely do. I get really confused, and I think they don't really. It seems to be don't give really much care to some of the like long timers maybe because it just feels like they just splash shit out and nothing really sits well for me. I don't even want to get collected editions because it's too convoluted as a history. It's never easy
Yeah.
to get into if you haven't done it for a while. It's not very. I don't think it's very friendly for people who want just to try it out to read
Right.
again because I think it's kind of nice if you continuously supporting them. I presume that's really goes well. But with all those events and all that stuff they're trying to do, Spidey this, Spidey that, even though DC is Batman this, Batman that, like so it's
Mhm.
kind of in a way same boat. But I heard that they're doing a Hickman gets to be employed again to do some another new universe because they're trying to do the same thing what DC is doing now with Absolute
Oh,
Universe.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
Marvel is doing Midnight Universe, which is going to be dark and broody, and you know, I guess the vampires will come out again. I'm just guessing. I'm not sure if it's true though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hickman at helm again, so he's the one who's saving. Honestly, every single time he writes something, lots of people picks up the books, right?
Mhm.
It is, but there are lots of people complain it's too long drawn. Like you have to really read Hickman stuff if you want to actually to understand the whole picture because he does go in and out from a lot of ways and stuff like.
Yeah,
But
no, he does well for sure at kind of creating a whole big storyline.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Are you excited for Supergirl movie? Are you the one buying the ticket already?
No, I'm not. I see the ad in the comics and stuff because like you, I've picked up a couple of DC things as well, which is
Yeah.
unusual for me.
Yeah.
Picked up a few DC things
There,
actually
there,
recently, which is very strange.
there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, and it's all
that's
over
it.
them, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I honestly I haven't even really I don't think I've watched the trailer yet, even to be honest.
I don't watch, so yeah. A lot of people are excited about it. Everybody gets what I don't like. Okay, we know exactly where the movie is gonna come from, who they taking the story from, right? So we both read it. Tom
Yeah.
King's run, yeah, on Supergirl. What is it called again? Gone Tomorrow something?
Girl of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Girl of Tomorrow. Anyway, so but then they decide to splash Lobo inside, which is necessary. I don't think so. The story didn't need Lobo, and I don't think it needs
For sure,
that.
it's necessary if you want to do a Lobo standalone movie. I think that's the thing that it's not like I'm surprised by it, but it's all this stuff.
Uh,
I'm getting kind of tired of like they've drawn it from this story, and because it's
mm,
never like the comic, it's never even close. Where it's just like, why
mm,
even say that? Just say you have a movie, just say you have a
mm,
Supergirl movie, and just leave it at that. Because it's never anything like the book that supposedly it's drawing from. You know what I
mm.
mean? So it just ends up being irritating to the comic fans. So I mean,
Well,
just say you have a Supergirl movie.
I heard that they are going kind of almost to a T because you have the same girl who is going to be asking help from Supergirl. You have a
Hmm.
Supergirl who is going to be on, in the shits, like what we have been representing her with Superman. And I like the Superman. I'm kind of like looking at, I was seeing some of the images from the Superman prior, that the latest Superman they came up with. And I like the actor they chose. It's very happy-go-lucky dude. She's kind of really does represent Superman the way you would imagine him to be. So
Hmm.
I like that. He's not that burly guy, like which we had beforehand, which I was enjoying him as well in the same vein. But I guess they want to sell also the material, which is good for Tom King. I mean, he's gonna rake
Hmm.
it in like big time. I like that Bilgus Everly's name is gonna be plastered everywhere, which is absolutely
Hmm.
fantastic. They already did some promos, I think, with the actors, like material to prep for movie. She was reading like a comic book in the ad. I
Cool.
think you've seen that
Yep.
as well. So in that sense, that's great. Okay, for the creator team for sure, especially artist wise, I'm also very excited for her, especially
Hmm.
because I really like. Apparently, there's some sort of situation where one of the characters on the poster was Star Wars represent, and they had to remove it
Oh,
because
really?
apparently they don't have rights for that character. I don't know how that's possible,
Mm.
but I guess any hint of look the same, similar, I guess they're gonna clash because the
Hmm.
companies who owns each other. Anyway, I just heard this. This is what I like kind of things before the movie
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure like if I'm gonna like I'm never like, oh, I'm the first to go to cinema, right? Not anymore. I'm kind of done with all that kind of like, oh yeah, I cannot wait kind of things. But honestly, curious because I do like the dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not going to be very good for dog in that movie if that's the same tale we're talking about, right?
Hmm.
So it's kind of sad, but in the same ways, interesting. But I never owe the actor. Doesn't if you wanted to be politically correct, which is
Hmm.
I never seen her before that, so I'm not sure what's the. I mean, I saw her only acting drunk in Superman, and that's it.
Yeah. Right at the end there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we'll see. That's my opinion, but I'm not really like psyched about it.
Yeah. No, I'm not psyched about it either. I mean, I'm sure I'll see it, but
No,
I'm not rushing out to go see it. That's for damn sure. Those days are long gone, I think, for the superhero movies.
my son is excited about Toy Story 5.
Yeah. Lillian was telling me about that the other day.
So he's like, "Yeah, I want to watch this." I said, "You haven't watched first four ones." Well, he kind of did because we kind of watched it, but he wasn't that interested in those. But now
Yeah.
he's been watching a lot of ads, and he likes the Buzz Lightyear, and he likes the idea of the toys being alive and all that stuff. And it's kind
Hmm.
of interesting. So I'm not sure
I
if we're
mean,
gonna.
they're fun movies, man. They've
Oh
always
yeah,
been
yeah.
fun.
I absolutely love them. So
Hmm.
animated stuff is always very near to my heart.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about animations, I've been rewatching Airbender, Aang the Last
Oh yeah.
Airbender. So I really well. I was thinking it wouldn't sit well after like 20 years. I think that's what when the last time. That's how with production went. Can't believe it that many years has passed. But
Hmm.
honestly, Aang's story is spot on, man. Wow, it's actually really well written. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's very kind of like now becomes more nostalgic than anything else. I like that. And my son also is doing the like earth, fire, air, water.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Getting into it.
Yeah, I think I showed him, and he found because in Ang it's a bit more like his stuff, like it's aged of this, like appropriate his age, kind of like really little kids doing this great adventure. So he
Hmm.
likes the brother of the water tribe. He's absolutely ridiculous. That one who doesn't have power and he only has his boomerang, and he's like, I'm gonna, I'm the warrior of this family, and the only thing he has is the boomerang. So that's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so I think that's quite funny and stuff. And then of course
Yeah.
there's this new after that. It's Korra, the Legend of Korra, which
Oh.
is also very good, but it's
Hmm.
more teenage age. Have you not watched Legend of Korra?
No. CORA.
No, K O
Oh,
R R R A.
KORA.
Korra.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Oh
Wow,
yeah, is
there you
that
go.
from the Airbender universe then too?
Yes, it's the same.
Oh,
She's
okay.
a
Yeah,
new
no, I don't
avatar.
know that one.
She's a succession to Aang.
Oh.
Yeah, she's the next one reborn to be one. So that one is
Okay.
more. I think they were trying to relate to more teenagers and like a higher like love relationships and all that kind of stuff, and that's good. I rewatched that as well. But the thing is, Aang's story is much more rounded up. So I think they have really thought about it for a very long time. I think Korra's story is really good, but I think a lot of people were, and I just remembered by watching the last episode, griping about they didn't have enough like end of it. It just felt like, oh yeah, we're going into something, and that's it, end of the story. And you're like, excuse me, but then they're supposed to make more. And there was a rumor saying that it's already approved, it's in production, but like animated movies, if they're done properly, it takes forever, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't take a year or two. It takes
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
or 10 sometimes. It depends of, who and how. But technology these days supposed to help it to become better. But the slew of actor voices in that Legend of Korra is surprisingly stunning, to be honest. There's so many actor voices you kind of recognize as well if you at all interested in movies. So that really lends itself, and it has this steampunkish universe where everything looks like 1950s, but with a way forward technology. Like they have like metal bending, and they have like it's just impressive looking, like technology wise. It's more computerized than Aang. Aang was more old school animation movie, whereas Legend of Korra feels like the new generation things of what they can do and
Mm.
achieve, right? They have
Yeah.
the giant robots in there. You have a lot of kind of like more like technology based storylines and stuff like that. So it's really still very good. If you're at all interested in Avatar, and animated, and it's really good to watch. It's fantastic. It's female based, of course. That's it takes my attention really well. When I watched the beginning, I was like waiting all the time to get a new episode going, because they're
Hmm.
20 minutes long, right? So it doesn't take long to watch one. So yeah, there's four seasons, I
Yeah.
think.
I think 4 seasons is what I was seeing
Yeah,
here. Yeah, four
yeah.
seasons.
So highly recommend. If you've seen Aang, the last Airbender, you should watch her. So
Hmm.
she is a water tribe first, but she, from a get go, from the baby's age, she started bending all like elements are part of air. Kind of ridiculous because air, Aang had a power of air all the time, but he didn't have any other one, so he had to learn lots of it. Whereas for her, air was the most difficult one because it's the most chill and relaxed way of thinking, like
Mm.
Buddha, and stuff. Oh look.
Hello, Library 8878. I want to read that new Josh Bayer book, Utsy and Dusty, The Crystal Pool. Yeah. Um, yeah, I saw it on Domino. It would be, I really like Josh Bayer, so that is a good one. As for movies, waiting patiently for Flesh of the Gods. Oh, a new Panos Cosmatos. Really? Well, let me type that in, Flesh, so I don't forget that.
Okay.
That's crazy. Wow. Panos, he did this movie called Mandy, and he
Mm-hmm.
did Beyond. Is it Beyond the Black Rainbow?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking extraordinary movies, psychedelic and just incredible. Mandy stars what's his name? The guy who bought the Superman book. He plays in the new Spider-Man
Nicholas
noir
Cage.
show. Nicolas Cage, yeah, so he's in it as well. That's
Oh.
cool. I'm waiting for Godzilla minus zero
Oh
comes out in
yes.
November. So the same person that did minus one is doing minus zero. So a
Yeah.
sequel to it, but still before the original first Godzilla. Cannot wait for that shit. Counting down
So
the
what?
days for that.
So when is it coming out? Sorry, I just blanked
I
on when you.
believe it's I believe it's November or December. I'm pretty sure they said November. There's a little teaser, like a 30-second teaser trailer out about it.
I
And
understand.
I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be good, man.
that kind of movie definitely needs lots of people's attention. Hopefully, it will
Yeah.
get. I mean, the minus one got quite a bit of attention, right? Not at the
Minus one
beginning.
did amazingly well. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it was up for Academy Award and stuff too, right? So it did
Yeah.
incredibly well. I think
Hmm.
it surprised everybody with how
Yeah.
good it was. So, but I love Cosmatos. I love Panos' stuff.
Okay. Cool. Talking about Nicolas Cage, have you twin looked at it? Spider Noir? Have you watched at least a couple?
I haven't seen. I saw just a little tiny clip of it, but I haven't. I'm curious to see it. I just haven't sat and dug into it though. No.
We watched 3 episodes. I would say we're watching in color because I didn't get to watch in the black and white from get go. I think when we were initially thinking, because you have a choice, by the way, you have a
Oh,
choose.
okay.
You can choose black and white or red, or color, not red, but color.
Mhm.
But I think when we pressed on it, I think it just worked on the color versions. So we're watching color versions, and actually it's fantastic. The color choices are fantastic, to be honest.
Yeah, cool.
My husband is a huge Nicolas Cage fan, so he was very intrigued by it. But I think we're doing it very slowly because I don't know. It just I guess our that space show for all mankind is what takes our attention. Yeah, it's written well. They have good cast. Or with one of the guys who my husband is excited about is comedian actor who is from New Girl, black actor. I don't know his name, so I won't be the one who's saying you what his name is.
Mm,
But he's very excited that that guy got his like chance to show off his abilities to do that, and he's a reporter for the magazine. What I'm really I never read Spider Noir comics, never attempted to actually. I knew the character, I was well aware of the character somehow, but I never read of it. The series, they had miniseries coming out, and I think that they are going pricey up because of his TV show come out. But the things actually really good so far. Story is interesting, intriguing. The way his powers and how he's doing the web shooting stuff and how he didn't want it to be one is the actual spider web is black as well, which is intriguing.
mm,
That's kind of nice element of design. And generally, everything the vibe of this and the era they were supposed to be portraying the story is really like right up my alley as well. So I really like that element of
yeah,
it.
cool.
Nicolas Cage. It's Nicolas Cage. I don't know if you can say anything else. I mean, I don't see any more surprises from the actor. Let's say this way. Maybe I'm because I'm not as a biggest fan as my husband is, but my for him it's like yeah, Nicolas Cage. Let's watch everything, whatever he does. It's like
Yeah,
excuse
yeah,
me, wait a second, just put on your brakes now. It's
yeah.
like oh, let's watch this one. Like wait, we're watching one at a time. Yeah, there's not enough time for all of it. But yeah, so far what we watched is exciting. It's good
Yeah,
watching.
cool.
Like it's a good TV show. So, but the space show, the For All Mankind, it takes our attention fully. We really kind of invested. It's really good storytelling, and there's
Mm,
lots of shit happens. And actually, when shit happens, it goes really fast. So it makes your attention not go swear away from like some TV shows does it. Apple is different a little bit, right? They want to keep your attention as much as they possibly can. So
right.
anyway, that's my.
We're into Dutton Ranch and
Oh yeah, you
a show
do
called
watching that
The Diplomat. We're watching as well too.
Diplomat.
Which yeah, The Diplomat. Yeah, my wife watched. I dipped in like maybe halfway through season two.
Uh huh.
She had watched season one, and I sat down to watch an episode and scoffed as I usually do, and then got sucked in because holy shit, are there some good there's some good writing and there's some good
Oh, is it?
storytelling going on in there. And then season three started, and it just hit the fucking tank.
Oh, is
But
it?
the last couple of episodes of season three have started picking up again.
Uh
It's
huh.
so tough to get like quality writing, and I have such low patience for shitty writing, especially when it's a series.
Uh huh.
But it's picked up again. But there's been some incredible stuff, and Dutton Ranch is pretty fun. I haven't watched all of Yellowstone or anything. I've seen like the spin-offs and stuff, but
Yeah.
this one is pretty good. I know enough about the characters to get into the story, right? I don't feel like I need all of their backstory to understand what's going on in it, but that's a pretty damn good show too. So
So I love Rufus Sewell, the actor in Diplomat. I
yeah.
just checked your cast members. I knew
Hmm.
about. I mean, I've seen it, but I've never kind of like got its attention for me. Carrie Russell is to 90s star, right? Where she had that famous TV show. What's her? It's I don't remember the name of it. Do you remember the
Yeah,
name of it?
I don't know either, but yeah, she's been around.
Yeah. So and Rufus Sewell, I served him in the coffee shop.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yeah, while I was working in London in Starbucks. Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, he is very handsome in real life.
Yeah, right.
Man, like, what we
Felicity,
call.
she was in the show Felicity.
Yeah, there you go, Felicity, the curly girl. Apparently, everybody in 90s girl, boy's dream girl.
I mean, she's still pretty cute even in this show, man.
Mm.
And she's a damn good actress, and I think she really does well with that role. But again, like it's easier to shine when you have such good storytelling and such good, like
Oh,
there's some dialogue in there, like there's some scenes that are just fucking
huh?
unbelievable, just because they're written so goddamn well. It's really, yeah, I was impressed with quite a few of the episodes. It's just
Yeah.
season three started to, so I don't know season one because I haven't seen it, but season three was really on a downturn at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Well,
And then from my dad, I got a bunch of old British shows,
mm,
which I'm super curious to watch. He was a fan of a few shows, like he was a fan of Rumpole of the Bailey, so I've got a
okay.
couple seasons of that. He was
Mm-hmm.
a fan of the show Cracker, which I've seen all of, but I can't wait to watch that again. There was one called like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He was a fan of.
No, I've never heard of
And what the
that.
hell is the other one? Uh, One of the main characters' name is Terry. It'll come to me, I'm sure, but it's an older British show as well too. So I've got a stack of stuff from him that I'm looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to watching Cracker again though, because I loved that series. Robbie, what's his name? That actor, Robbie something or other.
It's very old, probably, so I don't know any of it.
It is older, yeah. Is it Robert? Not no, not Robbie Coltrane is his name. Robbie Coltrane.
Oh, really? Sounds
Really,
familiar.
really good. Yeah, well worth watching. Like for a, he's just this kind of, a degenerate kind of cop type of story. Like he's not a, he's got some struggles to say the least. It's really, really good.
Mm. Is it in the
Yeah.
same vein of A Touch of Frost? That's a very old TV show. You know
Which
the
one? Sorry.
Touch of Frost?
Touch of Frost. I know the name. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know the name.
It's a very old school TV show, detective show,
Uh,
English detective show. Emma. Okay. I
cool.
see. So you have plenty of to catch up with something, right? There's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
something
some
to
new
watch,
stuff
right?
to watch. Well, I'm excited to show Alicia. I'm excited to show my wife some of this stuff because I think she'll get a kick out of some of it. We're gonna
Mm.
start with Cracker because I feel like that's the easiest one to get into because it's kind of this gritty show, right? So I think she'll enjoy it, or at least I hope she will. Anyway, we got the
In
first. He had the first season only, so we'll
oh,
start in there, and then I
is
think
it
I've got them on like a hard drive, external hard drive. The rest of it, I think so.
okay? So is it like DVD or?
Yeah, DVD. So he's got the DVDs of it. Yeah, so figured
Oh,
watch that stuff, and
mhm.
then I'll go to the hard drive.
I don't own DVD player.
Oh, really?
We only way watch the Blu-rays or DVDs is via PlayStation 5
Oh, okay.
because I used to have it, but like with new technology, you like think, oh, I don't need it anymore because this is dying down, and then everybody's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
back again. Like it's like, oh, everybody's starting to buy media again. Oh, we are bothered by not having so much shit, but we're still buying it now because we're so fed
yeah,
up of
yeah.
paying for all that crap. It is annoying, but yes, it's kind of so the only way I could watch DVDs is via gaming console. Not so fun.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has VHS player, DVD player.
Yeah,
DVD player she has, but I don't think it works anymore. So, but then she still keeps it. I was like, Mom, I think it's not. She's like, because I got a really big crack from having to try her VHS player, right?
yeah.
Because it's all like going back, and I was watching this recorded Disney animated movie on VHS. And honestly, all that, like the lines you see on the screen, because
Uh-huh.
there's something that's actually quite reminiscing. Because I wasn't showing to my son because he was not interested to go in the room and I was doing that kind of stuff. But I wanted to show him, but then of course, holidays were so short, so I didn't do much. but it's very nice to see going back in time, because my mom keeps a lot of things and she doesn't throw, especially
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is kind of interesting. And all of them, like VHS works better than DVD player, which says quite a lot in technologies, how they used to be made, right? Because
Hmm.
it takes forever, years pass, but if leave it be, it seems to be you can switch it on again and use it properly.
Yeah, man, it's stuff lasts. We've got the Blu-ray slash DVD player. We've still got a VHS hooked up. I still have a cassette deck hooked up. Still got the CD player. Didn't get rid of any of that stuff. When everybody was transitioning to getting rid of physical, I still kept all the physical. Got a hell of a library of,
Mm,
well, actually VHS tapes. We don't have very many of anymore. I did get rid of a lot of those years and years ago,
yeah.
when we first moved into the house. I didn't have a million VHS tapes to begin with. I never had a ton of those, but yeah, I did get rid of a bunch, and I kind of regret. There was a couple in there that I do regret getting rid of. I know I had a Godzilla on VHS. I had some old kung
Oh,
fu movies on VHS. That would have been fun to have still.
my mom has not had, but has still the Robin Hood English TV series of Robin Hood
Oh
in
yeah,
on VHS, which is like,
yeah.
yeah, and the minute you put it on and that song comes on, and you're like transported back in time, like
Yeah.
it's like what the hell happening? So like you get excited about stuff like that.
My parents still have a couple of VHS tapes of Faulty Towers at their house. I saw the other
That
day, which is
that
pretty
is
awesome.
cool. That's one of
Yeah,
the sought after things. Is always popular. I loved
yeah,
watching it. It's funny how a lot of things, the cast members are dying off, and and it's kind of
yeah.
sad. It was always
It was
entertaining.
so funny. It's one of the shows that we watched a lot as a family. We watched it a
Yeah,
lot as a family,
yeah,
and to this day, there's still stuff that'll come up that I'll say,
yeah.
I'm doing it now. I had to get off the ladder because I'm doing it now to answer the phone when he's putting up the stupid moose head or whatever it is on the
Yeah.
wall, and she calls him to tell him to put it up. It's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a good show, man.
Uh-huh.
So why don't you start us off? What do you got to reading this week, or
Okay.
reading the last couple of weeks anyway?
Yeah, we've been reading. You remember I said to you, then the Deadpool and Wolverine came out. There was this one cover comic book. I said I have it, but I couldn't find it. So because I remember I said I got a new filing cabinet here.
Yep.
So I've been taking all the things from the boxes. They're still left over here. You can clearly see. But to my fucking surprise, there he is.
Oh, nice.
Bastard. I was like, bastards. I was like, that's where everybody was like selling it off for a pretty penny. So
Really, eh?
and I knew I had it, and I have it on my CLZ, but I couldn't find it anywhere because, of course, my organization skills are horrible. But anyway, so this is very famous Andy Kubert cover of Deadpool, first fight of Deadpool and Wolverine,
Crazy.
and it's very much 90s inspired. When is it production line? Well, I can't find things. They really are bad with to tell me who's a creative team, and I never can. Anyway, I'm not gonna look for it, but this is what's inside.
Hmm.
Wolverine stripping himself off, and um, and then there you go, Mr. Deadpool coming up. So this is the bitching, and of course, there's the creative team. What I'm talking about then? 1994, this comic book came out.
Wow. Yeah.
So Larry Hama is doing the script. Adam Kubert and Fabio Lazuna. Pencilers Mark Farmer and Tim Townsend inkers. Pat Brousseau letterers. Marie Javins. Javins is the colorist. Anyway, so this is a story of them kicking each other's butt, basically. And Wolverine is trying to save this couple who is escapees. I think they are mutants as well. While they're fighting, and they become kind of like in the huge things happening. I must say it's not bad looking things, to be honest, for the 90s book. Very much Jim Lee inspired, especially these pages in here. So this is the couple. They're supposed to lead like these actors. and they X-Men with mutant powers. She's a liar. She's shifty, and she's kind of changing herself into like a character that the guy is trying to be in love with. And then, and apparently here is the story after Wolverine has been stripped from adamantium by Magneto. This is right after that. And Deadpool was thinking that he can take advantage of this, but Wolverine is not a slouch when it comes to dealing with that situation. Look at that. That's if that's doesn't scream 90s, I don't know what will scream 90s for you guys. Very famous look. Jim Lee has done many of that in Batman comics. But that's not Jim Lee. I mean, it's just the way the style of was drawing in that time, I think. You know, like the house art style kind of thing.
Yeah,
Especially
right. Yeah.
for mutants. So yeah, she was about to be killed off with a shooting, and Wolverine basically jumps in the right time and saves her. And they got really surprised why Wolverine would even care. And he's like, I don't, this is the time. There you go. Not shooting, but the katana was going towards her. And he basically jumps in front and saves her. And Deadpool like, oh yeah, I could deal with you, but then Wolverine come at me, and he escapes instead. He runs away. Deadpool runs away from the situation because 3 against 1 is not really fair in any book. But yeah, so I was reading this. It's kind of intriguing, but what's more intriguing that I actually found it. That this is like, like I was like almost swearing. It's like I knew I had it somewhere, and I just dumped it somewhere.
So that one is jumping in price recently. I'm assuming there's a movie or something.
Jumping recently. Like this one, Wolverine's die cut one.
Oh
I bought it. Used to be a 50p comic. Now it's no more. £10 at least. It's 90s comic books are coming back to become more sought after in collectors' books.
Yeah.
Again, Larry Hama done quite a lot of Wolverine, and this era of Wolverine, 90s stuff. So this was 88, right? But this is like number 50. So all this Wolverine stuff is actually, when I read it, it's really not bad, to be honest. Just readable, as long as you care for having the to read about Wolverine. Wolverine has always been that, as they call them, Canuck, like they mentioned Canuck quite often. Yeah. He is the Canadian guy which a lot of people care about. And yeah, but look at those t-shirts, man. They're coming out like busy looking t-shirts. I wouldn't mind having a couple of them, to be honest. I would wear them. Like the Ghost Rider one. I mean, come on, look at that. Absolutely stripping, like all covered. The whole t-shirt is covered. But yeah, it's really cool. When you read it, it's like I would probably, and of course there's lots of pinups at the back. It's quite nice, no? Especially this. Sienkiewicz, of course. Sienkiewicz has done lots of mutants. He's very famous, one of the famous. There's only 2. Is this Jim Lee's? I don't see the signature. It doesn't look like. Kind of looks like it, but it doesn't. Oh, it is Jim Lee. Oh, right. Of course it is. Look, signature. Down there in the corner. Jim Lee, 1991. Yeah.
Wow,
very much 90s stuff. So, yeah. So I have it. As long as I know I have it. It really bothered me because you put something in your CLZ, you look it up, and you're like, I know I'm supposed to have that. And then you go everywhere and you're like, what the heck? It's supposed to be here. And it was. But Jesus, it put somewhere between a lot of other shit. And I was like, wow, my organization skills are horrible. I finally found all my Shaolin Cowboy because I'm getting ready for new one. Yeah, Darrow is coming out, right? So I don't know when is it. Next month? Is it next month?
I think it's next month. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely gonna have to cut something wherever I've been picking in order to get the space for my favorite cowboy, Shaolin Cowboy. I
mean, your second favorite cowboy.
Oh yes.
Blueberry's your first favorite cowboy, I imagine.
Yes. True. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Well, Shaolin has the katanas, so it's a bit more unfair, right? Pew against
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, I think. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Darrow is great. I've been doing. I'm looking back at those the Wachowski's written ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing to have. I remember how difficult it used to be to get hold of it. Now it's not so difficult. Seems to be.
No, yeah, it took me forever. There was one issue I was missing for the longest
No.
time, and it took me a while to find a good priced one because it wasn't
Mm.
easy to find. I was getting it when it was coming out,
Mm.
um, fortunately, but for some reason I missed one of the issues. Yeah, so good old
Well,
Darrow.
they had their own imprint called Burly Man. So,
That's
and
right. Yeah, because
it
it was
didn't
that,
last
and
very long.
Doc Frankenstein or something was the other book, or something like that.
Yeah. It is Doc Frankenstein. Yeah. And
Um,
yeah, go on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, nothing. I just my end of story. Yeah.
Did
Oh yeah,
you
you have nice cover.
did you get it?
Of course I did. Of course I did. Mine is the Danny's cover.
Oh yeah.
Mine, mine
I
is
had
it.
to get. I had to get. I'm loving. I think I've got all of the issues that it's just Batwoman on the front.
Oh, so you
Kind of
have
like
no label one on.
So I'm trying to get to the same sort of ones. But so what'd you think?
I'm surprised
Yeah,
because I wasn't thinking that's where this story is gonna go. Because in a way, I know she's bad shit crazy, but I actually thought that what she was the bad woman going and doing all this nonsense. But apparently, not Suri. And when she had this conversation, weren't you a little bit confused when she had this conversation on the way?
honestly, that's one of the things I was going to ask you about because I feel like I'm a bit confused with this issue. Last issue, I don't
It
think we
made
talked
sense.
about number 3 before because I think you had read
Yeah.
it before I even got it. So the
Yes.
question comes into it, and
Yeah.
the question gets stabbed at the end of it. Batwoman stabs the question at the end of that issue.
Yeah. Shoots
Um,
her.
so this one, am I
Yeah.
understanding that it is the sister that's disguising herself as Batwoman? I'm a little confused.
So yeah, it's apparently it is.
Okay. So then
Because
who's this other woman that's the sister? Are we just seeing her later in the story? Because I feel like didn't they exist at the same place at the same time at some point?
well, the thing is, our Kate Kane thought that she killed her sister from previous storyline, right?
Yeah,
She says that she actually because she went into that that's that secret society, right? She's explaining in that page you just showed, that double
yeah,
page spread. That's where she
yeah,
explains where basically her sister went absolutely apeshit crazy and Batwoman killed her, right? And that's what the whole thing happening with her psyche, because when you have that situation because she was kidnapped before and then she was blaming for everything because she wasn't the strong one, all that kind
yeah,
of crap happens. So what I was confused by, I thought that's her brain telling her that I've seen you imagining seeing her twin, like that's how she's hallucinating her. She's not really well, that's why she's
yeah,
in the cuckoo house, right?
yeah,
But then according to this story, this sister is what she's doing it to her. Basically, she's using Batwoman's mantle, taking because then they have this explanation of losing of her costume, and she didn't question that, and that is her saying to her, "Didn't you realize there's one costume missing?" and stuff like that. So I was a
yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
confused. I don't think they really greatly explained a lot of
No,
things in here, and I think that will be probably done next issue.
I think there's a
But
pretty big assumption. That's the hard part. Like we were talking
yeah,
about before with Marvel, I think there's
yeah,
a pretty big assumption with a lot of these books that
yeah,
you just know all of the lore, like the back of
yes.
your hand kind of thing. That it's like, oh, I remember what issue that was, and that's what this happened. And like,
Oh,
there's an assumption there where a reader like me is like, fuck me, man. I remember loving the series. I couldn't tell you much about the series when I was reading it, especially some of those details. So I was super confused. Like, who are
yeah.
we looking at here? Who's the reflection of? Is this Batwoman seeing the reflection of her sister, or is this the sister seeing the reflection of herself and she
Ah.
thinks that she's her sister? I was so fucking confused.
Well, because she's questioning, it's actually, she doesn't even understand if, because her brain is so scrambled, she's actually
Yeah,
asking herself her own identity
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
she's having these things going on. Because as a twin, they were sharing lots of things. Apparently, they were like kind of inseparable before lore. So as
Mm,
long as I remember, my lore of Batwoman is also like kind of not everywhere, especially the last story, the series before. Supposedly, you're supposed to read before you start this one.
Hmm.
At the beginning, I really enjoyed it because that mystery of not knowing what's happening and why would Batwoman doing that. But then this
Yeah.
one is revelation of actually, oh boy, we back again to having the crazy sister back and doing whatever crazy shit she used to be doing beforehand, but she never
Hmm.
had dared to take the mantle of Batwoman. That's another thing. And
Yeah. Yeah.
now also apparently, like, the question, it's Renee, whatever her name is, surname,
Yes.
but she is the new question for this universe, and they
Yeah.
had
And she's still
relationship.
alive, which is good, right? So.
Yes, I thought that she's perished. And they had relationship prior to that, but that relationship was probably in one of the Bat family books, which I haven't kept
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
been updated to. So in a way, a bit confusing, but I
Yeah.
mean, I'm still enjoying it. I'm just,
Yeah.
like when you have those in between issues where they kind of sort of explains to you what's going on, right? But not fully, kind of, you're not fully there yet with the story as well. But I mean, it's much more information in this comic book I had when in the previous three issues. Previous issues were more action-y, and here it's more talking and explaining the secret society, where they are actually, and that she's able actually to leave that cuckoo house. I was in assumption that she can't leave, and then they explained here that she actually just left, right? Because she has this question. Renee Zellweger, I want to say, Renee is doing her kind of like they're together, and the father also. So the father was attacked not by her, not Kate Kane, but by the
Yeah.
sister now,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
So she has a problem with the daddy as well. So she has also a daddy issues as well, which we weren't aware of. But in
Yeah. No,
overall,
she's big time fucked up. There's no doubt.
but they were from the get go because how it
Yeah.
started for them, right? They they were kidnapped when they were 12. Their
Hmm.
mother was killed when that happened also. So that just screws over the whole brain, which is what it really happens to all superheroes in any universe. It seems to be somebody has to die, one of the
Hmm.
parents. So another thing is
Yeah. No,
fascinating to
it's
see.
still good though. I'm still really digging it.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna stick with it. I just found this issue was the first one where I was at
Huh?
the end of it. I was just scratching my head like I don't know what the hell that was. So
Mm,
that makes a lot more sense. You explaining it there for sure. But
yeah.
it's so good, man. The art is really really nice.
I like
It
Danny's.
definitely has like that Frank Miller, type of vibe to it for sure. But I love that style.
Well, Hollingsworth has been around he's been around done everything. It seems to be he always, if he gels with the artist, I presume that really makes the artist go 10 times better. I mean, when you
Yeah.
have a good colorist, it pops your art really well. I liked at the beginning, I wasn't sure when it was, but the impression of his art, the more we go towards it, it gets better and better.
Yeah. No, totally it does.
I
I
like
agree.
he's intentionally using less lines, and it's intentional to why he's using them and how he's placing those shadows is very impressive
Hmm.
too.
Well,
So
and I
yeah.
just love those blocks of color and stuff too. They look
Yeah.
really cool. They give it
And
almost this kind of, you know, illustrative kind of style, right? It kind of leans into that style a little bit more.
when I saw this page, the first thing
Yeah,
popped in. Oh, Gardelos is going to be a cruel thing in here because
yeah,
you're not going to see the person's nose at all when you're going
yeah.
to
That's
have a
right.
collected edition for that. Anyway, all this double pages, especially when there's the face included, like ugh, it's almost like
Hmm.
cringy for me because
Hmm.
knowing what collected editions I usually have, no matter how good those spine things, whatever they create, is not usually you lose lots of things afterward.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It's never good
but
enough.
is it my turn or
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah.
yeah? Okay, so I'm going back to what I found. I have a first appearance which I bought for 50p. I wasn't aware of it because I found it in the same box with that 88. This
Mm,
Incredible Hulk and 377.
look at that color, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice. This one is from 90s as well. So this is apparently has a first appearance of the Professor, the same the
Okay.
Professor we had in the Marvel universe as Hulk, the clever one, right? He's
Yeah, yeah.
turned, it's Hulk, but he talks, it's like scientist and blah, blah, blah. So in here, it's funny what, Honey, I Shrunk the Hulk. That's, you know, the movies, right? So we have a creative team of Peter David, Dale Keown, Bob
Yeah.
McLeod is inking, Joe Rosen is lettering, and colorist is Gladys Oliver. It seems to be all females are doing only colors in Marvel Universe in the 90s.
Hmm.
Anyway, I don't read that many Hulks, but every single time I picked one Hulk, I always enjoyed it. This is almost reminisced me of very Marvel style, but you know the monster we were reading by Bunzo Smith. It's kind
Uh-huh.
of, it's basically his three split personalities fighting for survival, and Doc Sansom seems to be the one who is giving him like a guy of sitting down on the chair and telling them what to do and how to not. So Joe Fixit, apparently Crazy Hulk, or the stupid Hulk, but with just brawn, and then you have Bruce Banner. Ah, yeah. Don't get me temper looking, Yeah, honestly, go for it, because I read this one, bloody, I actually really was impressed with the storyline. So they're sitting down having this conversation of existence, and they don't basically fighting. There's only one thing's gonna happen. You can't fight between each other because somebody has to give way. Joe Fixit thinks he's too smart. The Brawn Hulk thinks he's just Brawn and he's matters because you need to protect himself. And of course, our Bruce Banner has problems because he has baggage, okay, of his childhood. And what he sees is this crazy looking alien coming in to eat him while he was a child at Christmas. So this is what he sees while he's being hypnotized by Doc Sansom. I didn't know Doc Sansom has that power of hypno, but yeah. And then this is all struggles, and all these iterations of his Hulk is basically trying to help Bruce Banner to basically kind of survive the ordeal. They kind of trying to find a solution in here, and they always having conversation. They also employ this douche comes in to help, who has such a reputation for hypnotic experiments, and he's called the ringmaster, this guy, and they has him for help, and everything is basically happening in his brain. And this is his mom. He's always thinking of her and what happened to her. She was killed, right? And he's blaming himself for the relationship my parents had. The parents had really bad relationship. Why I'm talking about Monster is it's a gentle way of kind of what Monster was going through with the Hulk story. Remember? So
Yeah, absolutely. And Monster was
yeah,
fucking brutal, dude. Heavy.
yeah. This one is not as brutal. It's more
Yeah.
gentle way of approaching. But he's reliving all the stuff that's happening, and that monster keeps appearing, and there's something's happening with that. And the child is like, the Bruce Banner is in trying like, wake up, son, like almost to himself, and I'm like, you're the child, but it's me. Go and help yourself. And then this things keeps happening. Oh, you want me to be strong, so he turns into Hulk and stuff like that. And all the situations happens is in his brain. And of course, he has a girlfriend and other girl who he's Joe Fixit iteration of Bruce Banner has another girlfriend. So it's matching two girls fighting for one male, which is kind of intriguing. But yeah, it's the story goes for, and it basically, because of all the situation, there's a new guy in play, and that happens right at the end. Yeah, this is the guy. This is the professor, and he say, "Oh, hello, darling." And Bruce Banner is not going to be there anymore, or at least for now. Oh, Kyon is Canuck. I didn't know that. Okay, there you go. Canada. I have lots of Canadian influence
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
it seems to be. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Mr. Professor in the comics. Spoiler alert, people, but it's 90s comic. It's
Yeah.
actually not cheap anymore, right? So I was like, oh, I bought it when it was 50p in the
It's wild to me that stuff is all climbing in price a bit.
90s books. You would be surprised. Especially like Wolverine, which is
Yeah,
Wolverine always had this popularity no matter which way you went. You
for sure.
have Old Man Logan new iterations, like that book, that has always been on the higher and higher all the time. Then you have all this the beginning of volumes like number ones of Wolverine is always very good. um I'm looking forward to a classic Raging Big Hulk in the next. Oh yeah, I heard that there's a Hulk coming
Oh, is
in.
that true? Hey.
Well, I heard it. I wasn't really sure, but I think I've seen a picture of one of the things. So that story is honestly really well done. I didn't tell the whole thing because it was like continuously happening brain fight and fight and fight, and somebody had to give way. And the only
Mhm.
way we were finding a compromise somehow is to get one other guy. So they have another now. So he has like split personality syndrome, right? Because he has all these iterations of it, or of himself, or the Hulk, because of the gamma rays inside his body. But then by you having to talk into like, oh, let's just, like just let Bruce Banner go kind of thing, like let him be who he is, right? But no, instead you have now a professor come out of it. So
Mhm.
all those, what they found it, the best way to find a compromise is get the clever, the brawn, and the human together, and you have the professor out of it. So apparently this is how it went in the 90s.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah, yeah.
that's where apparently the Marvel movie Hulk is based upon, apparently.
Okay.
How much you take that for salt of grain or something. Um,
I think the surprise to me about some of those climbing in prices, I just assume that there's like a million of those out there, but I guess it
mm,
depends on the era in the 90s because obviously the crash and they started printing less of some things too, right? So,
I think it has a bit, it has surge from the maybe newer collectors who's kind of like influenced by movies, who looking for all that kind of like key issues. And I think all that stuff kind of helps in the 90s books. And honestly, there's lots of stuff happened in the 90s. It's not like they completely not start tell the story. I don't think they were
yeah.
as greatly appreciated, especially in that time and era. But I think, well, I'm reading all of the 90s, like those single issues. I was like, I'm proper satisfied. It's like, oh, those comic books, like here, sometimes like new releases, you don't get as much satisfaction as that you have with the books from that era to read. And you're
Mm,
like, oh, this is the full story. It's like, I don't have to
hmm.
look back at something, like they always
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
And I really like those books of Marvel. Honestly, every single time I picked up one, I was like, "Oh, this is really good. It's right.
Yeah.
It's really good Marvel."
Hey man, there's a reason they became popular, right? Like that
Yeah,
style, and like you're saying, people felt like they had
yeah.
a book, and the art it was filled with splash pages, and
Uh-huh.
like
Well,
it's yeah, it scratched an itch, that's for sure.
well, the people saying, like, I think like Peter David is being like apparently lesser known Hulk creator, but he apparently lots of who's read and followed Peter David's run of Hulk were really celebrating it. So it's
Hmm.
kind of nice now,
Yeah,
like having just a little bit of a glimpse of that. And honestly, as I say, whatever like random Hulk issues I had, and I read it, I've never been disappointed with it. It's just interesting, intriguing, for me in that
hmm.
sense. It's like, oh, I like a character, what it is. It
Yeah,
can be very complex as well.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Your turn.
continue on with superhero love.
Uh-huh.
Finally,
Oh yeah, you finally read it all, right?
yeah, finally, we have the
Raphael
completion of
Grandpa.
Raphael Grampa's Batman Gargoyle of Gotham, issue number 4. It's been about a year.
Mm.
So fucked if I could remember what the hell happened before. What I do remember is that I was enjoying it. And thankfully, it kind of continues in this. Like, obviously, the draw for me for this series is
It's the art.
Grandpa's art. I think
Yeah.
he's a phenomenal artist.
Right.
I really get a kick out of it's this sort of like grim story and stuff. There was a couple of panels here. Let's see if I can find it. I probably talked about this in the past, but since it's been so long, I
Mm.
love that he still has this sort of cartoony feel. There was one, I mean, it's a number of places, but there was one specifically. I just want to see if I can find the panel. He has this way of this all this this goddamn violence, and it looks fantastic, and it's
Ooh.
pretty dark, and it looks great. But then all of a sudden, you'll see a character in the background who has like the cartoony sweat beads shooting out of his forehead, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it really has it plays really well with knowing that it's a comic book, as well as being kind of something pretty heavy. So this is the last one. Everybody starts fighting. Everybody's beating the shit out of everybody. We get some kind of Daredevil esque stairway fights with Batman. He's gone to the under under the city basically, and they've given him a new costume, and his costume has like knives in it, and he's hitting people with hammers. So you know it's nice and bloody and gory, and there's sort of like the mini Joker type of character in this as well too. It's a kid. um I mean, the ending, I won't say much about the ending. Maybe I won't show too much more past that.
Mm-hmm.
The ending kind of hints at that there's potentially going to be some more. I really want to find this panel. The potentially is going to be some more. Here we go. Found it. So it's this one right here. I don't know if you can, if it's coming up so well there, but the
Uh,
look on that guy's face, I don't know if you can see the sweat
yes.
beads, but it
Uh-huh.
really is. That's very, very cartoony look on his face with those big, purely round eyes. Super fun, man. You know, really, really fun. It's a shame that it took so long to finish it, but I get it. Shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
I also picked up. They had a noir edition, like a black and white edition. They've been doing it for the entire run. I haven't been picking them up. I've just been picking up the main one, but I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to check this one out. And it's cool to see his art just in black and white. It's not purely in black and white. I think they do the green of the Joker, and then they do red, of course, for the blood and things.
Mm-hmm.
But cool to get kind of a look at, oops,
Oh,
kind of
look at
get a
that.
look at his art a little more pure, right? So, which is kind of what I was looking for. Let's see if we
Mm-hmm.
can find some green with the Joker. Yeah, here we go. So, and that green on the page, and this character here being mostly just full of ink is pretty cool looking in the black and white. He stands out even more than he does in the regular book. So, yeah, fun series. Glad it's over. Glad he had a chance to do it. I want him to do more. I love his style quite a bit. So bring it on.
Well, because you're showing Grandpa's work, do you know that Ian Bertram is gonna release new comic?
Oh, really?
In September. It's gonna be called Car the Carman Blade.
Okay.
Karman.
Huh.
So because we like the same creative team who does the previous work, whatever we were reading, yeah.
Oh,
So
right. So
Darcy,
like the little bird and stuff like that,
yeah.
precious
So
metal and
Darcy,
things. Yeah.
yeah, Darcy Van Poelgeest, whatever, I can't
Okay.
pronounce his name. So and Ian Bertram is doing that. This issue series is gonna come out for start from September. And yeah, and the art looks spectacular if you put it on
I
Google.
bet.
Yeah. So how's
Yeah,
the
I'll check
story
it out.
of this grandpa's work? Is it sits well in you with you? Did you
I mean,
enjoy it?
it's good enough. I think I'd have more of an opinion on it if the issues came out back to back to back. It's
Uh-huh.
hard
Yes.
for me, especially with superhero stuff, because I mean, I don't want to say that I don't care. I'm not as invested in the story. Sometimes I am. That's not always true,
Yeah.
obviously. But I
Mm-hmm.
think with something like this, like it's too long of a break where I don't remember what happened in the three issues previously. Like with some of this stuff, it for me personally, I have to read them kind of back to back. And then I just don't know if I have the energy to want to go back and read the first three issues to before I read the fourth one, right? So, especially these days, my times that I have available for reading stuff is a little more limited
Uh,
because of work and things, right? So I
mm,
just don't have the time to necessarily go back and read three. They're pretty thick issues too, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I just remember it. I remember being impressed with some of the issues, like more than I thought I was going to be at the time, because it was one of those I didn't expect too much. I was buying it for the art. I just expected the story to be whatever.
Yeah.
But I do remember enjoying it, that it dug into some areas that I thought were pretty unique for the
Mm,
Batman character. So,
yeah. The art looks. I mean, you sent me the one issue, and I really like the
yeah.
art. I don't remember the story, even though I know I read it.
Hmm.
And that's the thing, because it wasn't coming out. I remember how much you were saying, like, what's going on with this one. nobody really knows exactly what's happening. But
Yeah,
yeah, it took too long to come out, and that's just
too long.
it reduces you to. Then you kind of the collected editions make sense then when you have such a big gap between each single issue. Single issues becomes nothing to scream about because the story doesn't stay with you. It has to be a bloody mind-blowing story for you to keep it in your brain for that long
Yeah,
and
yeah.
remember. And that not many stories these days can do that, unfortunately.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest too, that most of the time with this stuff, it's good guys beating up bad guy. The bad guy
Yeah,
has some sort of reasons. The good guy has some sort of reasons.
yeah,
Good guy is generally going to win, and that's the end of the story. So it's not like they're complex
yeah.
stories, but I do feel like they were getting into some of the Batman psychology that they
Mm.
hadn't previously, that or at least I haven't read in my kind of limited reading of Batman stuff. So yeah, it might be worth going back and taking a look, but I doubt that I will, to be honest. So
It's a pity though, because it's kind
yeah.
of been, knowing the caliber of the artists working on the thing. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
the one thing which really disappoints the timeline. If you can't get it to be done the timeline, that becomes the thing. So before we go on the other things I read, do you want to talk about this? You read it,
Yeah,
right?
sure, give her. Yeah.
And Mr.
I mean,
Deadman
so I
Specialist.
really hesitated. I haven't finished it. I'm almost done it. I was reading it today before the stream. I really
Uh,
hesitated. I'm not a huge Ice Cream Man fan.
yeah,
Now, saying that, I haven't read a shit ton of it, so
yeah.
I realize that that's a bit of an unfair statement.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have dipped in when they did that Superman thing, it started off pretty promising.
Yeah,
Um, but then it really I lost interest pretty quickly.
yeah.
So I think I hesitated as much as I love Dead Man. I really hesitated getting this getting into this book because of the creative team, and then
Mm-hmm.
even starting to read it. Like I open a page and I've met with this, like this is the second and third page where
There's a
it's
lot
just
of
filled with text and
yeah.
not much going on. I just kind of look at it and went, "Oh fuck." So I started it and it's better than I thought it was going to be so far, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to continue on because I do love Dead Man. But it didn't kind of, I don't know, it didn't grab me in a huge way.
Uh-huh.
What about you?
I was also not fully sold. When I think of Dead Man, I always wanted to be more kind of like loose, a less rigid style of artwork
Mhm.
when it comes to that because he's such a fluid character, right? He's not alive, he's like a spirit, whatever you're in between. When you start reading this, it also doesn't sell you so well in a couple of pages. There's lots of reading material. There's kind of reminder, of course, to help you and understand what Deadman is all about and what he's
Yeah,
doing and who. That really well done, and the way they kind of did it is actually quite clever. Because of the way he was trying, he incorporated that throughout the storytelling of what's happening right now and why Deadman is involved, right?
yes,
It does really go well, but you have to be very patient. This is like almost feel like you're reading Silver Age comic book. It's a lot of text.
a lot. Like even just flipping through again, like
Yeah,
page
that
after
that scene
page of
here.
literally walking down a fucking sidewalk for 3 pages, having a
Yeah,
conversation. And I know I
yeah,
sound like an old man who complains about, things are different, blah, 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 all that nonsense. But
yeah,
come on, dude. Like it's really hard for me to get into. And I
yeah,
love indie comics and I love alternative comics where it's
yeah.
literally talking heads. I really love that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not kind of what I want from a dead man story. And I know that that sounds ridiculous because they can be whatever, but I see 3 pages of him walking down the sidewalk talking to another ghost, and I just don't give a single shit. I just don't care.
Um, so in a way, I was having a very similar feeling to it. What I really like that page you were showing, that was one of my like, oh, I started getting into it. Like this
Yeah.
page here, when he's talking and explaining what is going on, what he's doing, what he's supposedly, how he kind of like he doesn't really have time to have a break, right? Because this guy,
Yeah.
the Kushner, whatever, I mean, whatever that god's name, which basically resurrected
Ramakrishna.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
he has to do lots of things for that for thing. I don't have time, like he's like almost it's like almost scheduled kind of
Hmm.
appointments, and then this thing happens and you have this biker thing and this like deer and you're like, oh, of course, so that's why you hear something really brutal happens, and then of course the crash happens and he's explained how many things happen to this dude, and then that's where the dark side comes out of, right? That's when you
Yeah.
start to at least gets the idea where we're going to take this dead man story. It's going to be dark. Knowing the creative team, they're going to go really dark in the sense
Totally.
of
Yes.
who is going to
Yeah.
be a bad guy, who's going to be a good guy, how bad is going dead man is going to deal with the situations. And I kind of like it. It really gives me the vibes. I don't know why, but this creepy dude who is like been shown you before putting in the moisturizing thing and retinol, like super whatever, and then you
Hmm.
realize how old is he, and he's like chomping on the person sitting there. It's like that's a bit too much for me in a sense, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
nice to see that Deadman is not a floozy of the character of what he was represented beforehand, right? You
Yeah.
definitely can take him to extremes, and I think this creative team definitely gonna do that. I don't know if I'm very psyched to read that much in the page, to be honest. I can't
Hmm.
believe I'm saying this. I'm always saying, "Oh, we need more matter." This I liked. Okay, this part you see where the dead man is almost in the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus-like
Yes.
state kind of thing. I really enjoyed it, and I like this bad guy who's eating humans. So he's like what vampire slash whatever. I
Yeah.
really like that those all these dated people who is working for the
Yeah. Like
crazy
the maids
dude.
or whatever.
Yeah, they turning into these creatures also. So
Yeah.
that's intriguing. If they're gonna go into the realm, it seems to be they definitely gonna delve into the gods of India because that's the vibe of it, the way they represent themselves in here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be intrigued, but I don't know where the story is. I don't even know if it sold me. But I was at the end of it, I was like, "Whew, that was a read and a half." That's the first thing I said to
Yeah.
myself. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I've never sat to the comic book that long, to be honest. I never
Hmm.
felt this long to be reading it." So I'm not sure how it's gonna be received. Am I gonna be interested to read it next? I think I will be for sure. At least one
Well,
more
I
issue.
mean, I think that's also the thing with like, this is like a tertiary kind of character in the DC universe. It's not like people are
Hmm.
flocking to read the new Dead Man book,
Exactly.
right? So if you're going to get
No.
people to read it, I mean, yeah, sure, I guess people who are fans of the creative team will come to it. But I mean, I feel like it'll pick up in the next issue, but
Hmm.
I feel like I need a little bit more. And I think also I'm used to a different Dead Man, right? Which is always the
Yeah.
classic thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, not that people can't make it their own. Absolutely, they can. It just I like a certain era of like Dead Man and
Yes.
Spectre and things like that, like the
Uh,
kind of magic universe.
yeah.
I like the wisecracking Boston brand. You know what I mean? Like there's a
Uh-huh.
little bit of that in here for sure. And I do like the idea of him kind of in this old folks home where people or hospice or whatever, sorry,
Yeah. The
where people are
last.
dying and him
Yeah.
helping them transition. Like I do enjoy that aspect of it of like, hey, he's just a janitor for souls, basically. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Not that I want a whole series that's like that either, though, because that wouldn't be very interesting
Mm-mm.
to me. So we'll
No.
see how it comes. I mean, because it does, like you said, seeing those demons at the end is catches my attention a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know how excited I am to make sure that I get the next issue, but I'll keep picking it up for sure to give
Well,
it
the
a
thing
to give
is,
it a fair shot. I just hope it doesn't go the way the Superman thing did because it just got really dull really fast, where it was
oh,
by issue 2 I was just
you gone.
not I was tapped out. I was just tapped out. There was nothing really there
Hmm.
that caught my interest, that did much for me.
Have you? So it's the same creative team, right?
Same, yeah, exactly right. Exact same.
Oh, they done Superman and it wasn't ticking, that wasn't clicking with you, right?
And it was all different kind of there was different colors of kryptonite that were being discovered and he was
Oh
testing
yeah,
it
yeah,
on
yeah. I
himself
remember
and
you.
what it
Yeah,
all did. Yeah.
yeah,
And which is kind of an interesting idea. I thought the first issue was pretty good and then
yeah,
the second issue came and I just completely didn't care anymore.
yeah,
It felt like, hey, a one shot, sure. Like that's I'd
yeah,
be down for that, but I don't know if I'm in for a mini series of him experimenting with kryptonite. And there's something about the style of art too. I love
yeah.
the style when it comes to everybody else that looks like these guys.
Yes.
But there's something about the type of writing that happens with this art in these books that
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't really check a box for me, you know?
Yeah. I really, it's the Robertsville, the street he was talking about, the population of people living in it. It's kind of
Mhm.
fascinating that he even dwelled in that level. You know, like you're going a lot of places, but it's like where are you gonna take us? You know, like, and it's maybe because it's question, like maybe you make you question it where and how it's gonna be later on. What I hope
Yeah.
is second issue will pick up a bit more when it comes to understanding where we're gonna go from here now, right? Because this is completely tells you, you know, this is who he is, this is how we what is dealing with, and there's a new challenge for him up ahead. I want
Mhm.
it to be a bit more trippy, to be honest. I like Deadman to be a bit more like color going crazy. It's too
Mhm.
clean for Deadman for me.
Yeah, totally. Well, on
Yeah,
420 saying it here too, was sad to see his 70s V-neck and huge collar go. Yeah, like there was a definite
yeah,
iconic. I mean, you can see, well, you can't see it. It's on the back of the door
yeah,
underneath Daredevil. There's
yeah,
a Dead
yes,
Man poster there as well too. So,
yeah. I really like this panel. I think that's that.
oh shit.
You look great.
Sorry, one sec. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
Yeah, I like this one. That looks really freaky, and the way he's
Yeah.
being spanning out and he's trying to actually basically rip the things out of him. So that's kind of intriguing for me. So I really like that. So that's this is kind of that element of those monsters and stuff is starting to like. If we're gonna get more of that, I'm more
Yeah.
up for it, right? But yeah, too much reading, man. I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
saying that. But yeah, it's too much. It's a
Too
bit
much. And
intense.
it's dialogue that doesn't really do too much for me. I mean, even the purple prose of like Stan Lee,
Yeah.
it just gets to that level of kind of tedious, like, okay, dude, what the fuck are we you're saying a lot of words and you're not saying anything. And I
Mm.
think for some of that stuff you have to be in the right headspace for it, right?
Oh,
Where it's gonna
very
work
much
or
so.
it's not gonna work. So
Yeah, you have to give time for this, right? So
yeah,
you can't just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick up a thing and it's gonna take no time. And I'm gonna put it
yeah,
down in like 5 seconds. Oh boy, no. You're
no,
gonna
that's
spend a
right.
little bit longer.
Yeah,
Have a cup of coffee with it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You probably will have to finish the whole cup before you finish the comic.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, did you pick up Kaya?
I did not. No, I haven't been to the shop this week.
So the not that it was last week coming out. This is came out.
Yeah, I haven't. Oh,
Issue issue 35.
hmm.
Big-
Show me the inside pages because I sure as hell recognize that cover. Hmm. I don't remember if I picked it up, to be honest. Yeah, no, that doesn't look familiar. The cover looks really familiar, though. So,
Well, it's almost to a T what he used to produce beforehand. So,
yeah.
so I'm not going to talk about it, and you can get. It's very well. It's kind of wordy enough, but we kind of know exactly where some of it, this Jin and Azel's story we're gonna take,
Mm,
and he's proper freaked out because he's seeing this guy, the
mm-hmm,
guy who
mm-hmm.
killed all the humans, right?
Right.
But then
Yeah,
here it
because we saw
actually
him at the
managed.
end of the last issue or something, didn't we?
Yeah. That's why what he the last issue we saw him seeing that
Okay.
guy, and he's freaking out,
So
and
that
he
I,
does.
I definitely don't have that issue then, because that's the last thing I remember.
So yeah, he's going absolutely ballistic, and he freaks out in each page almost, and Azel is showing all his true colors to what he is and what he and Jin is probably kind of like seeing that I made a mistake to where I'm going at. He doesn't have a choice though because
Hmm.
Jin is not he's 8 years old, right? Eight,
Yep.
7,
Something
something
like
like that.
that, yeah.
So you don't expect
And
that.
not very smart.
No, he's very conflicted in his own being. Like there's this things happening and like scream at each other. He screams at his face like, listen to me kind of thing, like this is where we're gonna take this. And blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And Jin's like, no, 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 blah 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 blah. Anyway, so it's we'll talk about it when you read it because it's much easier.
Yeah, cool.
Much easier in conversation.
Yeah.
So the number one I picked up, which I said I want
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly enough for me, I picked up the Absolute Catwoman number one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's a female, okay.
Hmm.
ridiculous, but yeah, that's what I go for. And I'm a bit confused, to be honest, because okay, I need to always think in my head this is not part of continuation. I know Selena Kyle and the way they talk is it's a new universe. This is supposed
Yeah,
to be an
yeah.
iteration to her. She's a 25-year-old, done and dusted. She's about to retire, apparently, according to this book, especially first issue, where she's fighting this other cat woman's who comes to basically attack her penthouse. She's has a new costume. It's nice that they taking the purple back in Catwoman. It's very old school, but with a modern take, like the visor almost looks like a helmet, motorcycle helmet. And her tail is not really a tail. It's like there's some darts of the machine gun. I almost thought that actually she should be, because this is almost looks like AK-47, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a dart slash sleeping things going on there. She's trying to fight them off, and this is like great thing. Another thing what surprised me, which I didn't realize, because I don't really do much research, the artist is Bengal. And Bengal, if you're not aware of it, but he's worked in some Image comic books for Rick Remender. And it seems to be all
Yeah,
the Image artists are going back to DC now, being employed in DC to do all the superhero stuff. So that this is like what happens to the penthouse, kaboom, boom, 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 and then they basically go back in time and tell you the story. It's her birthday. She's celebrating her 25th birthday. She's about to retire. She has a lair, which everybody were freaking out. Cat cave, it's called. She has a cat cave, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, she's like a Batman!" Blah blah blah. And then she's, of course, it's not really different, to be honest. She's still an orphanage girl who's been in the family where she's really not happy where she was ending up. She escaped them. She was stealing some money of them first. That's why they had this confrontation. And then suddenly we pass into this area where she basically bought this property because she wants to escape it all. At 25? It's very kind of like intriguing. If 25-year-olds these days wants to escape the whole society thing. She's very happy that she's going to have her own beach and blah, blah, blah. But then back in London still, we're back into penthouse and situations that some chick called Holly comes in to give a happy birthday present, but there's a twist. They have history between each other, and she wants something from Catwoman. And she's like having this tantrum to conversations because apparently they haven't seen themselves in a decade. And the people who is basically in her penthouse is because of this girl, Holly. And of course, lots of action scenes. Oh, there's this new, spoiler alert, people. This is she has this bike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like, and it's called a Wildcat, okay? And why is it called Wildcat? Well, it has legs when it needs to. It transforms.
Yeah, crazy. Wow.
So it's kind of intriguing in that sense, like it's not bad, to be honest, for a Catwoman book. Very intriguing. Where the story will be going. She apparently was in Batman Absolute first appeared, but then now she has her own series. Also, there's another character who is behind all of it. People who knows Batman will be probably excited about it. There's a clue to say that her one shot coming out in some September thing. So this is the character who's involved in this one. I'm not going to say it out loud. It's a bit too spoily, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, lots of action, intriguing. I was like, Bengal. I was like, what is that? I was like, oh yeah, Rick Remender. He was doing one of the stories with him. So I guess they all get to the fame. And then they work for DC now, which is good because then, like I remember, so I will talk about the Batman book, which I have as well. How much shit Nick Dragotta got for his design for Batman. Now you can hear anybody's complaining about that Batman. I don't think so. It's so funny how things happens, right? With the things and how much shit you're going to give the creator. And then suddenly you praise him. There's so many people I've seen, they went into Comic-Con where he appeared. And everybody's just like gushing over the artist. I was like, you haven't even read this East or West yet. That's the Hickman I know, right? That's the Hickman I like a lot. East or West was one of the best, probably Dracotta's work in generally in my, well, because it's one of the things I discovered him from. And I think his imaginary things is really works what it does now doing to Batman. It
Hmm.
translates really well. So anyway, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
DC.
funny. You're totally right. Like, because I remember all the people making fun when it first
Oh,
came out.
the costume, the
Yeah,
burliness
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh,
And now
the
you can't find
surprise
those books
thing on
to save
his
your life.
chest. Yeah,
Yeah,
and what kind of bad logo is that? Remember that time when people speaking and now you can't see the person saying bad things about it.
yeah, yeah. Well, never mind that. You can't find the fucking early issues. Never mind anything else because
Mhm.
everybody's getting them and selling them and slabbing them.
I mean, he has what 13 reprints of issue number
Yeah,
one.
hey? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it says a lot, Squire, on that sense. And they're saying that this comic, even like what speculators are talking about Batman now, yeah, is that New 52 came out, Batman, it had as big of a bubble as what it is doing that Absolute. But it seems to be Absolute is hitting to even younger people more.
Mm,
Younger people get to read that, they pick up first volume. That's how I did it, right? I went to library. I picked up issue one, which is lucky enough for me, right? I
hmm.
didn't pick up afterwards the issues, but I picked number one. I didn't pick it up. I was like, another Batman book, like how much can I care? And then I
Hmm.
went to read it came out with a first trade in library. I picked up mine to trade library. I read it, just like, oh, that's actually really good, kind of thing, for the Batman book, right?
Yeah,
But it seems to be Snyder. I don't know what the heck he comes up with and how he talks in his comic books, but he manages to keep attention for Batman fans. Like he knows how to write the character. He makes them somehow more intriguing. I really what I like about this Batman Absolute one is that all the bad guys are friends and grow up buddies of Bruce Wayne, which is
hmm.
I like that idea. They have this kids crew. Your besties, and they no matter how which way they're gonna go directions, they kind of meet up back again and help, right?
Right.
So
Like Chow Yun Fat in his movies there, where he's a
mhm.
criminal and his best friend from childhood is a cop, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I like that idea because I think it's better when you have him like all rich money and he don't care about humans. He seems to be, like he doesn't really care because he has everything is sorted. The only thing he wants to do is some sort of justice, whatever he feels is suited for him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of intriguing. Okay, you
Yeah,
talk
for sure.
about other things. I'll mention that.
Yeah, fuck superheroes. That's all I got. So this I finally read this. So this is one that I got
Oh,
from Calgary.
oh,
Raymond Briggs. I've known about this book for a long time.
okay.
I know about the artist, and I
Uh-huh.
know that there's people that are enormous fans of Raymond Briggs. And after reading just this one, because this is the first thing I've ever read from him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with them now. I want some more. This is a hell of a story about this old couple in a nuclear war, basically,
Oh
and just
boy.
how they're living their lives. Beautiful, colorful illustration to start with, and then it just gets darker and darker as it goes.
Uh-huh.
It's a hell of an impactful story, and it's really interesting because they keep reminiscing about what it was like in World War II, and they had to kind of ration and things, right? So they're talking about this potential nuclear war, and there's these things coming across the radio, and then we get these meanwhile in a
Oh boy.
distant kind of thing getting ready for some stuff.
Ish.
It's told so well. These characters are amazing, and they again talking about like their history. The art is so nice, the colors are so nice. It has like a pencil crayon kind of feel to it.
Uh-huh.
So it just talks about war in a different way, where they figure it's just going to be like it was then. We're just going to need to ration for a little while, and we're not going to be able to do this, and not understanding that the kind of the finality of nuclear war. So then you get
Oh,
another shot of the planes coming in now and
that's
stuff.
good.
So when there's some cool things that happen, specifically when so we get this page and panic is starting to set in and they're getting things set up, and the words are getting bigger and bigger, and they're talking over, and he's kind of yelling at her, we've got to get ourselves saved. And the very next page, you get this.
Oh.
Super impactful as you were reading it. It really is one of those, like, you almost gasp as you're reading it. And then we get the next page, and it kind of still is white, and we start seeing some red panels come in, and they start kind of coming into focus as they're wavy and wavy and wavy. And then we finally get to kind of see where we are, and we're back into the story. And it just gets better and better from there, and it just gets more sad from there as they start basically they're dying, obviously. I mean, it's a nuclear fucking war. But as we get further into it, you can see kind of the colors just kind of sucked out of the page, whereas when we started was let's see, we started with this, and then we kind of end with this, right? So goddamn good. There's an animated version of this as well too that I have on the computer. I just haven't watched it yet. I'd like to check it out. I was talking to Colin about Raymond Briggs, because Colin's a big Raymond Briggs fan, and he was talking about a couple of other books that I should be on the lookout for. So hell of a book, man. I'm so glad that I finally got my hands on it. It's an infamous story, but really nice to sit and read it. And it does look, pardon me, it does look dialogue heavy, and it is, but it reads so nicely. It reads very conversationally, like these are, this is an old couple that have a life together, and it reads very, very well. And just the way they communicate with each other and what their expectations are, very, very well told. So an absolute banger, as the kids say, a banger.
Yeah. It's very much when you showed the art, I was like, okay, what does this look like? Because I can see it. So
Yeah,
of course the famous story of Snowman, which is
that's
always
right.
is on
Yeah,
TV in UK.
yeah,
And especially when you show me say blimey, it's not really Americans won't use that word, right?
yeah,
So I was like, oh, okay. It's a telltale sign for me to check it out. And yes, it is. That's the famous
yeah.
guy who done the Snowman story, where it's almost uh, a must for child to know the story of that, because they will be shown. There's lots of books of it. Of course, before Christmas is it's like almost traditional to some families to watch that movie as well. It's very
Mhm.
good looking movie, to be honest. It's very matched. Yeah, walking in the air. Yes.
Yeah, was that a quote from it there? 420 must be.
Yeah. I think it's a song. It's a song in there. I'm walking in the air, and there's like the da 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 da. It goes that
Mm.
story. So yeah. So this is the guy. Okay. Very intriguing for the Snowman creator to do that kind of like really dark story,
Yeah,
because it
oh,
has
and
those.
that's the thing, like it's dark. It's
Yeah.
as much as there's some moments that are comical as
Mhm.
you're going through it, like ultimately it's a dark fucking story. Like,
Mm,
things do not end well, obviously, so it's a
yeah.
nuclear war, so of course it's not going to end well. Oh, okay. Good cover by Death in June. Okay.
Uh-huh. So when was this book produced? Probably like really quite old, quite long ago.
Um, I feel like it was the 80s, but let's see.
Yeah.
Penguin Random House,
Very famous.
Penguin Books London. So this one is 1983.
Mm-hmm.
First published in 1982, but this version is
Oh wow.
1983.
Yeah. Old. Old.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Okay. So I was talking. I guess I'm gonna finish my Batman talk. So Batman number 21 came out. This is the Two-Face of this Batman universe, but it's not what I was intrigued by. I have not picked up the issue where I saw the how what's the new Joker looks like. So new Joker looks like these. This is the
Mm,
guy, nice and dandy looking guy, yeah? Very swagger,
hmm.
knows how to dress. But then when he gets angry, it looks like these.
Wild.
So when I watched this panel, the first thing that came to my mind. So you know the series called Death Note.
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's the same, almost the guy, almost who I in my not like specific, like not that many thieves, but honestly almost screams Death Note to me a lot.
Right.
And no wonder what lots of people are saying when they talk about Absolute Batman, and it's very manga inspired. Yes, because of the action and all that kind of looks of it, and the stylistically what Dragota is doing. But when I saw this Joker thing, it's like, geez, that looks like Death Note character, the bad guy of Death
Sure
Note.
does.
Anyway, so it's the story where Batman is fighting those Robins who are employed by what is the guy Wayland, Def, the guy who's the sniper of this universe. What is it called? What is his name?
Deathstroke? Was it Deathstroke?
Yes, that's the guy. So he is having this Robin's working for him. That's the guy there. So he's the one in charge of them. He's communicating with them. He's like, "Oh, be careful, blah blah blah, kill, 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 kill." And Robins are like, "Well, we're having conversation while we're about to have a fight with Batman." Why are they fighting the Batman? Because he's accused of Gordon's murder. Because the murder of Gordon was Batman present in that time, but he wasn't. Well, spoiler alert: it wasn't him who done it, but the Scarecrow of this universe is the one in charge. He made a whisper in Gordon's ear, and he just jumped the building. So now we have this fight because Batman is accused of it, and Robins are the good guys, even though they murdering people right, left, and center. In the meantime, and the way the Batman gets saved because he's not really has this everything going on for him. Harley Quinn of all people gets this amount of murder of drones coming in to help save him. They all look like a bat, actually, just here. And they come to save him and wish him Batman away because he's not going to survive this because there's too much going on and he's only mere human, really, with stuff. There's lots of going back. I like the way they use the color when they go back in time. So you have this not really clear color, muted colors choices when they talk about the past and how Gordon is always tried to be kind of like a father figure. He did sleep with his mum, so he kind of felt like he has that part of it. And Gordon's Barbara Gordon is this little chick who almost looks like that from Batwoman, isn't it? Like Renee's almost look to her.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's the Barbara Gordon of the Batman universe. This is this guy is Dick Grayson, so Nightwing. He looks almost very much like a 90s musician frontman, with the black kind of like things. And this is the Killer Croc Valen. He's one of the buddies, and they always keep on talking. So Penguin is involved as well in that bunch of guys together, where they're saying we don't leave somebody behind. We have to help Batman because he's in trouble, right? Because he's accused of murder, and everybody's after them. And then, of course, this guy who is basically putting he's the money guy. So in this absolute universe, the Joker is the money guy, not the Bruce Wayne money guy, and his name is Jack Grimm. He says that in here, I'm Jack Grimm, don't remember me? And of course, Batman is like, oh, I'm gonna punch it. And he's like, oh, no, I'm lean, but I'm mean. Anyway. So yeah, it's good. Honestly, I'm enjoying it. I was thinking I'm gonna pick up that Poison Ivy bit because that's what I was intrigued by. That's why I started picking it up. But I'm so far intrigued. There's a Batgirl coming out. She looks like a man, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work.
Okay.
There is this Batgirl's appearance. You can.
Yeah.
My plastic face.
1 sec. Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
Next issue is going to be a first absolute Batgirl's appearance, so everybody's going crazy about it. I'm just. I saw the page, and she looks like a man.
Okay.
Almost. I'm not saying that's bad. She just looks like she has the same kind of like Batman appearance, but she's wearing a Constantine cloak. In the way, it's just the way it feels like. It's just about the picture. Never you can say until you see the whole picture. But She comes out of the. Okay, do you want me to spoil it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You
I
don't
mean,
really
yeah.
give a rat's bananas
Yeah,
anyway.
no, you can spoil it for me all you want. It's
This is how she comes out. This is how she appears. There's his hands,
crazy.
and she's like rising out of something. Well, at least I'm
Crazy.
suspecting this is how they're introducing that person.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah,
First cameo.
yeah, yeah. They are selling out like a cupcakes, to be honest.
Yeah, no, they really are.
They do help DC a lot. These
Yep.
Batman books. There are lots of people that go up apeshit crazy. Apparently, oh, I don't remember. I saw a video on Insta where there's like people going into comic book shops or sellers of the comic book shop, like they advertising their own shop, and they had this like a ginormous stack of Batman issue, just one issue number, right? They
Mhm.
showed the day after, it's almost gone. That ginormous stack of it.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
but it sells now. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
people. I
Get
mean, it's
people in
good.
the
I
shop,
like that.
man.
I like it. I honestly do. I really
Mhm.
like that's what I mean. I started with New 52. That's when the higher why my journey with DC comic books came out. And I didn't start it from the beginning. I was right later, a year later. I joined when the New 52 started, and everybody was talking. I was just coming to comic book shops, and I was really kind of didn't know what the heck is going on. What do I read? It was very
Yeah.
confusing. It wasn't easy at all to do that kind of thing. So I like it.
Sorry, give me 1 sec.
Okay. Yeah, he's talking to somebody. Okay. You okay? Oh no, you're still having conversation.
Sorry, you want to keep going? I've just got to get to the door for a sec.
Okay. Go to
Okay,
get.
you carry on. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'll keep it on. Some say Batman might have his back broken again, though. Oh, from saying that coming. Oh, the Bane apparently, the way the Bane was introduced, everybody's freaking out. They really like it. I'll show you the one and the only love it. The Turtle book number 19, which is came out recently. This is just issued in between the story previously, which this creative team of Jin Loon Yang created is done. This is just the introduction of Mother coming back with Daddy Splinter into a real world, and she's not really happy because she's from millennia ago, because of the turtles were from that back time where Japan was long time ago. Let's say this way, and she's now back into she's back into a this world of New York, and she's looking at all the sons and her husband, and there's the dialogue between this whole comic book saying that I don't know if I'm in the right place in the right time. She finds she's out of place kind of thing. They are trying to make her feel happy, of course, and they taking her on to a touristic ride of New York, saying the New York is that's why he's there to entertain. They went through all the kind of things to having her to introduce the pizza. And then, of course, Michelangelo has to be a weird one and had to put jelly beans on the pizza for her to try on. And then she goes like, okay, that's a bit weird, even for me. And it's kind of messed up, to be honest. She's not supposed to be there. The way she came about to become in the real world is because Splinter decides that he needs to save his sons, and he went through the door of the Neverworld. I don't know how they call it. And then, yeah, she's kind of came with him by not her own choice. And there's a consequences happening right at the end of it. I didn't see that coming for the bad guy who's employing this Papa Bang, and the ghost boys who's coming to take over Splinter and capture him again. Of course, there's a high tension between April and Casey Jones, especially because Splinter has had a visions. That's where he came from death to save his sons, because in his visions he saw that Casey Jones killed Raphael, and that doesn't bodes well with him still to this day. While they having to meet them by chance in Coney Island, Splinter is basically telling Raphael to get away from Casey Jones, and Casey Jones is like, what the heck is going on with this dude? Why is he so messed up with me? What also Casey Jones doesn't understand, how is that possible that Splinter is back to being alive, even though supposed to be dead? And then what the most shocking part is that he sees Mum. And that doesn't bode well with Casey's, because Casey Jones' mum is dead as well. So he's thinking, what the heck? Why she's alive and my mum is not? And of course, the comic book of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can be a comic book because they need to have a huge fight scene. And then they're using, it's funny, they always find an interesting way to use the rubber duck in here to basically smash somebody's faces with, because they didn't bring their guns with them or their weapons. But that doesn't really stop them from defeating the gang. And the mum, she is no slouch either. So no wonder that she can take care of herself, and she manages to distract the giant yak. And there's this joke in here. Oh, it's nice to whip the ass of the yak or something like that in this comic book. So yeah, this comic book, it doesn't really give much, to be honest, for the people who's been reading comic books for a while. This is just in between issues, and I'm not the biggest fan of in between issues, but they are because there's this huge advertisement, like what Turtles tries to do. Huge 300th issue comic book coming out next, and they're gonna be doing this blind bags, which I am hugely not fan of. I heard this huge there's the day 616 came out for Marvel, and they had this Doom blind bag with lots of like a comic book, and you have to spend $15 for that blind bag. It's just so stupid. I think there's so much ripping off the comic fans with that kind of crap, but I guess it sells. I hope it does, but I'm not interested in this. What this comic book does also, it gets ninja notes, so it tells you what's happening, and they having this joke saying that we definitely calculated, and it says in here, which is kind of interesting, because I was thinking, is there 300? Yeah, cash grab for sure. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mirage Volume 1 had 62 issues. The Mirage Volume 2 had 13 issues. Image Volume 3 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had 23 issues. Then they calculate Mirage Journeys Volume 4, 32 issues. And it's funny how it says IDW the Volume 1 of Turtles were 150 issues. It's amazing. And of course, now we are into issue 20, and that altogether calculates to big 300 grab. They want to try to persuade you to get that because they will have Frank Miller, J. Scott Campbell, Giuseppe Camuncoli, Stan Sakai, Michael Dooney, Kevin Eastman, and Peter Laird, and Freddie Williams II, who is doing this, but this is the cover of him. But this middle issue, as we have it, it's for Ferrero Pay's guest artist in here. He does usually the past of the issues from this run of creators. Anyway, so yeah, Turtles. I always love Turtles. I'm picking up the main title. I'm really second guessing how I'm going to deal with this 300th issue. I am not the biggest fan of that kind of crap. I'm never wants to be going into, and then there's like say, oh yeah, there's in the blind bag will contain one copy of 300th issue, whatever that means. It means probably the limited edition comic. And yeah, there's lots of things. Apparently it's going to be really quite a hefty book. But are they splitting it in two parts? So is it going to be cash grab twice over? With IDW, I wouldn't be surprised by it, to be honest, because that's what they usually do. I mean, they try. I mean, this is the money making for IDW. The only one left, really, a lot of people cares about. Anyway, at least I do. But I do enjoy my turtles, so I'm not sure. I'm very twisted when it comes to that. So that was nice. Yes, that's the whole thing, isn't it? So it's the same thing as I say about the uh, Doom blind bag. Apparently, some people were spending like 5 of them opening on the YouTube. I was watching some person opening 5 bags. And they have not even the same comic book 5 times over. You buy, you get a mask, and then you get this reprint of facsimile inside, and that's it. And that's $15 for the bag. I was like, come on! So give them at least like a different variant covers in it of the issue, whatever the Doom issue they're coming out with to celebrate that 616 day. I was just like, what the heck, man? So much money for nothing. And people are, that's why people are always debating whether this comic book world we are in gonna crash, boom, bang it properly. Anyway, okay. Recommender. The only recommenders book I have so far is this. But I am a huge fan of Daniel Acuna. And Daniel Acuna kicking butt in this comic book. So it's the issue 7. There's the volume. There was a slight break, because there's the volume 1 came out because the first 6 issues released. This is issue 7 now. So Rick Remender's World War II type of the anthropomorphic storytelling of World War II situation and the fight between. What this book does really is quite heavily moody, but it's really well written. The characters somehow I care about. I don't care war stories. I never did. But somehow I like the way the mood is going with Acuna's art in it. It has intention to it. It has like sadness, emotional grab on hold on you. I don't know, why would I even dare to. I mean, we have one guy, okay, so he's landed in the area where he's trying to bomb in order to, and he has this mission here where he thinks, I am gonna suicide myself because there's the only solution. I don't want to be grabbed by them. I don't want to be tortured by them. I don't want to give any informations to them, and we're following him to sort of like this escaping. That's why it's called Escape, of the title of this book. And so far he's not doing really badly, to be honest. He managed to get to an area where this giant gun is placed. That's his intention to take out of, because they think by taking this gun out, the people they're fighting or are against is going to basically give them a proper advantage over them. And he is doing that. He has been captured, but he somehow escapes. Manages to have conversations with people he thought that he's going to be end of him, but manages to see that they are probably the people who helps to him in his path to do this explosion. And this issue is probably the most intense there was, so it's actually kind of nice to go back after having a slight break of being kind of like, going towards the story, and this one is just going flash boom bang, and there's lots of action happening.
I'm back.
Oh yes, good, because I was like, oh my god, how long will it take? My favorite page, I think I would like to buy this page, is this. The intention, the crazy eyes, the grab, the the absolute hatred towards somebody, about to press the click button, like the famous click of the bombs and the flash.
Is this the Remender book you're talking about?
Yeah, the Escape.
Oh yeah.
I'm still liking. So that's one of my favorite pages. But then you have this page as well. It's really beautiful. David Acuna, man, it's fantastic. Who is his colorist? Himself. Oh, there you go. That even says quite a lot. It's very, very beautiful art style, I think. It's intense. It needs to have to be that intense. It also has this really good emotional from animals, like creating that intensity from like ordeals and situations, and you throwing the ball like a grenade over his shoulder.
Hmm.
It's something to behold, even though it's a war-based comic, right? But I think it's really, really well done. And the story is going forward. It gives you like that emotional, and then there's rewards. So this guy who comes into, so he's in situation, this guy. He's about to be executed, right? This is the panel. And then you press the page, and the people who was trying to execute got executed themselves, and he got basically saved by knowing one person. And that person who is basically helping him is also in kind of a suicidal run, because there's no winners at war, isn't it? There's also just damn luck, which helps you to go through it. Absolutely love the color choices in this. I think he's nailing it. I love black and purple combo. I think that's just the most stunning combination you can have for, especially in nighttime situations, right? That's just really beautiful. And I'm probably buying this not for story itself, but for the work of art David Acuna doing, you know? I think it's very impressive in here. And I think Recommend is lucky to have that. My favorite page. I wonder, is it doing? I don't even know. It doesn't look, it looks digital. It doesn't look like it's paper to pen kind of thing, but maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am, because I do like,
What issue number is up to?
7.
7. Cool.
So the
And
first
you're
one
still
came out.
liking it, eh?
Yeah, I'm still I mean, I'm invested in it. I like the tension, because he's going. It's like there's no way he's gonna survive this, right? But you keep on creeping it, and it's still. It feels like, okay, it's the same thing. You're still kind of escaping, but because he managed to get the characters he's having conversations with and situations he's in, it's kind of intriguing enough to move forward. And you kind of hoping the escape will happen, because he has a wife and a child back home, and he keeps saying to himself, well, this is it. And then of course that this is it doesn't really happen, because it actually consequentially happens to him, but he meets people who are actually going to help him in the future. And you don't realize that you are in especially in the enemy's front line, you will have somebody who's going to help, right?
Yeah.
So it's intriguing enough for me. I don't know. As I say, I really do. I think that's why what makes me go for this comic book is the art is really winning. And I think it's just like splendid. It's you're witnessing somebody who's doing so well in every panel, and you cannot judge, because you're like, oh, this is really beautiful. Oh, your color schemes are really great. Oh, your facial expressions are spot on. And you're like, okay, this is why I liked it. And while you were away, I was talking about the turtle book.
Oh yeah, I haven't read the new issue yet. Yeah.
It's a in between issue. It's kind of not really like gonna blow your socks off. What I'm not really psyched about is this 300th issue, and they're doing the blind bag.
Oh Jesus!
I know exactly.
Fuck's sakes.
The price he's saying in here is $5, so I hope it's gonna be $5, and I don't have to commit to a blind bag. But they advertising blind bags, and I'm like,
oh good Lord. There's still going to be regular ones though, right? It's not just going to be blind bag.
I don't know. They only advertising this now for sure.
Fuck's sake.
But this thing, it says $5. So hopefully this is what we can be able to choose. Because I was talking while you were away. There was people buying the stupid blind bags of Doom on the cover. It's called 616 Day. And people, there's nothing inside really to be. There's one chance, like out of, I don't know, 100 copies, a sketch cover. And that's what make people spend $15 for a bag of where you get an issue number 1, you get a Doom mask, and you get a facsimile edition of Doom story. Yeah.
Scratch tickets. Yeah, or Pokemon cards. It's the same kind of thing, right? Like looking for that one rare hollow. You know what I mean? So wild.
Exactly. So I just I know because Frank Miller is gonna be in there. Okay, There's going to be some. It's going to be like Freddie. They say Freddie Williams II going to
Hmm.
have there. Then you're going to have Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird going to come back for that issue. Frank Miller is going to be there. Michael Dooney, Juan Ferreira, which we absolutely love. Ito. I don't know what's Ito. I don't remember Ito. Matteo Santaluco is fantastic in Turtles. He done all the short story things happening. He's very good. And J. Scott Campbell, which is famous for Spider-Man and all that kind of crap. His covers of J. Scott Campbell sells like still to this day, which is kind of interesting. He still does it. But there's lots of famous Amazing Spider-Man books he done covers, and they still keep the value actually increasing, which is kind of mind-boggling to me, to be honest.
Hmm.
Because I remember I had it and I sold it to just make some money. I was like, I sold it, I made profit because I didn't actually pay for it, and I got some, so I made profit already. But now those books which I sold for the price, they 5 times more now what I sold for going, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what I'm wondering about these blind bags. Like, if you bought some and held onto without opening them, like how much would those rise? Because nobody knows what the cover is. Obviously, I
yes.
wonder what the price rise on that kind of thing is, because it's a gamble. Well, this could be the one sketch cover you've been looking for, So I wonder if those end up like in that secondary market, if those end up escalating in price, or if they
Well,
still stay relatively the same.
no, I think they're gonna go into like we saying here, Lapierre, because we're saying that it's gonna be 50 B bins. I'm telling you, you're gonna put pound bins,
Yeah.
dollar bins. I bet, because do you remember that famous? Oh, one Deadpool card cover card is inside one of those X-Men execution songs, whatever this calls. They were in the bags, and you could actually see it. You
Yeah.
could actually see the card, and they are now were going for cheap. I think they're getting in price up. Apparently, some douchebags, because those Pokemon cards or cards in general is very popular, right?
Yeah, they go nuts. Yeah.
So there's somebody buying it and trying to get the rating of 10, like the near mint copy, because that's what sells basically when it comes to cards situations, right? You
Yep.
slab them and it costs
Yep.
you a fortune.
Yep.
So they're
It's
doing
true.
that
Yeah.
now.
Just like all of it. Yeah. It's all the same at
Yes.
the end of the
Yeah,
day. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, anyway.
So I've got to cut it right away here, but I just wanted to show you one
Okay.
thing. So I got there's a guy on YouTube, West Coast Dave Engers.
Okay.
I watch his videos every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
He does like Japan trips, and there
Yeah,
was a
yeah, you
book
told
that
me
he
about
had.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a book that he had that I wanted. I ended up buying a couple of things from him. He
Oh
did
boy.
good with kind of
Oh
the
boy.
shipping for me, and kind of
Uh-huh.
said, "Hey, you can add a couple of more books if you want me to just hold on to these." So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up buying a few kind of cool books from him.
Uh-huh.
But the one I wanted to show you that I was
Oh.
most excited about
Mm-hmm.
was this, straight from Japan. It's
Oh.
Katsuhiro Otomo, and it's Hansel and Gretel and Other Fairy Tales.
Oh boy.
So the Akira artist,
Ooh.
no dust jacket on it. It's a nice thick book.
Oh.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful, and
Oh
some of
boy.
the art in it really reminds me kind of like Miyazaki. It
Yes.
still has the Otomo kind of vibe to it for sure. I'll see if I can show you some. I mean, there's
Good.
so many standout pages. There's about 8 different kind of fairy tale stories in here. The
Uh-huh.
first one is Hansel and Gretel. There's Little Red Riding Hood is in here as well too, and Don
Good.
Quixote is in here as well.
Uh-huh.
Um, there's some very minor bending to some of the pages, but otherwise it's in fantastic shape. And
Oh
the price
boy.
that I bought it from, I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but it was much less than what I've seen on eBay when I did some hunting for it,
Mm-hmm.
just to see what kind of prices it was going for. But I mean, it's
Oh,
it's
earthbending.
fucking gorgeous. It's a stunner of a book. And I started sort of reading it and scanning it and things to get the translation, but I
Oh
sort of
yes.
gave up and just ended up just looking at the pictures and going through the stories. I mean, I'm sure he does his own little twist on things, but I'm not as interested in that. I'm more interested in the fucking gorgeous, gorgeous artwork in this. So,
Oh, that's really
hell of
cool.
a score. I'm really glad that I managed to snag it. I'd seen he does, when he was doing videos there for a bit, he was doing kind of preview videos where
Oh
he would
boy.
show off the books that are going to be for sale. So I
Uh-huh.
happened to catch the video where he was talking about this and made sure to tune in. You
Yeah.
kind of got to tune in live. It is a kind of live kind of setup. He does have everything priced, so it's not an auction. And he's got the wall behind him. He just puts stuff up in certain spaces, and you just claim it. And you have to sign up on his website and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh, really?
super cool, like really cool stuff, and
Oh,
something that you're just not going to see here. I'm not going to find this going hunting in town or at conventions
yeah.
or whatever. So,
Very nice.
yeah, it was too good to pass. I've got a bunch of other stuff from him too, but that was kind of the standout. I guess the other sort of standouts for me was a newspaper from the 90s that has a Peter Bagg strip in it
Mm.
from Seattle. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a NBM spring catalog from 2001 that he had. So
Mm-hmm.
ended up grabbing that and a couple of like indie stuff from him too. So
Nice.
he's got a pretty good eye. He's got some pretty good taste,
Mm-hmm.
and he does kind of end up auctioning off some pretty cool things. There's a lot of stuff that he auctioned off that's way out of my price range. But so cool to see because he does pretty good with like flipping through stuff. Yeah, he has a podcast as well too. He interviews people.
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully he's not watching this. I find him a little difficult to listen to be totally honest. I'm not the biggest fan, but he does have some good taste. He has had some good conversations with artists. And yes, whoa indeed, 420, whoa indeed on that book. So a hell of a score, beautiful. I'm glad when it showed up. He didn't pack them amazingly, but nothing happened to anything on the trip. So that also kind of ends up bugging me. I got a comic, I got a magazine on eBay, picked up
Mm-hmm.
an issue of Cha Cha Comics, the kind of dirty comics that I'm, and it came in a like record style, like a whatever the Gemini kind of mailers,
uh,
but this was just on its own. It ended up
ew.
on my porch and it was raining, and thank God I got to it. Thank God I was home earlier, because if it would have
Yes.
sat in the rain, it would have got soaked through, because it wasn't even in a bag and a board. So
Ew.
it's really like you're selling fucking comics on eBay, and you just threw it in a box and threw it in the mail. Like the box was starting to get soaked through when I got my hands on it.
Yeah.
So thank God nothing happened. Just really, I don't understand people that sell stuff online and don't know
Mm-mm.
how to properly bag and board fucking comics.
Oh, they don't care. Some of them.
No, I guess they get the money and that's it, right? So
Yeah.
then it's gone. Send it, get it out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You have to go, you said.
Yeah, cool. Thanks
We'll
very much, everybody, for joining us. 420, and then early on we had
the
Volstix
library.
and Mr. Darth Thrift
Mm-hmm.
in the library 8878. So thanks very much for tuning in.
Mm.
We should be back next week.
If
So I hope
everything
you all return.
turn.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. We'll still talk
right
comedy.
on. Thanks very much, everybody. Talk to you later.
Fork.